Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Hello, once again. Greetings from the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy. This is a donation deck list from Anthony, and Anthony challenged me to make Grixis Delver into a Reanimator deck. So this isn't a totally out of nowhere thing. There was a deck called Young Frankenstein a number of years ago that was basically a Young Pyromancer Delver style mid-range deck that could also reanimate Griselbrand. And I've tilted it heavily in the Delver direction. I tried to make the Entomb package as small as possible. So there's one Griselbrand, 3 Entomb, 3 Reanimate. Entomb is the only pretty bad card in the deck. Reanimate getting back one of your Delver, Dreadhorde Arcanist, or Young Pyromancer, your other threats could be just fine on rate. So that's not too bad. Griselbrand and Entomb are basically you're putting 4 dead cards if they don't work in your deck for explosive combo potential if they do work. And the way I got to this list, I found a list from 2018 that was a Grixis Delver shell with a Reanimator package, and then I hybridized it with James Sue's recent Grixis Delver post on Twitter. James has been working on the deck. My friend Roland Chang's been working on Grixis Delver exclusively. So I just looked at their Twitters at their deck list and updated the sideboard and the main deck to sort of be in line with what Grixis Delver wants to be doing. And then I made this package as thin as I think I can get it, with still making it reliable. So the plan, if it's not clear, is to be a Delver deck. Just present Delver, Dreadhorde Arcanist, Young Pyromancer, do that sort of stuff, and then surprise, here's Griselbrand. And then out of the sideboard, I can choose to cut the Griselbrand. I can lean heavier on the Griselbrand depending on the matchup. This sort of forces opponents to bring in Graveyard Hate, which is why you don't see Gurmag Angler in the deck, because if I cut Griselbrand because I expect Graveyard Hate, then I don't want a dead card in Gurmag Angler. So there's some small decisions, deck building decisions here that I made. In general, though, this is just the updated Grixis Delver shell with Griselbrand rammed into it. Let's go see if we can catch some people off guard and summon a demon. Open the Hell Vault, as they say. Alright, so on the play in round 1, I'm going to keep this hand. It's a perfectly reasonable Delver hand. There's no cantrip, which is kind of a bummer, but a land is good, a cantrip's good. We have Force of Will and Daze, or Force or Daze, not both, because Daze is my only blue card, as Disruption, the turn 1 Delver. So this hand plays. This is not a mulligan. If they kill my Delver, I can reanimate it. Haha. I am going to fetch Volcanic Island, though, because I have more red cards going on in my hand than black cards that matter right now. I also get to bluff being Rug Delver, which could have some value. Alright, moment of truth. Let's figure out what they're up to over there. He's Scalding Tarn. This could be a mirror. Force of Negation. It's not the land I was looking for, but it does flip Delver. So let's get in there. Now I do have Force plus Daze up, and it's not one or the other. I don't want to get Wastelanded. That would be pretty much the worst thing here. Alright, that's not Wasteland. Snow-covered island, whatever. I could have bolted in the end step there, but I'm still not sure if they're going to be a creature deck or what. So I'm not in a huge hurry to do that. I'm going to let that resolve. Oh no. Well, I have Entomb and Reanimate if I ever find a black source. So I'm getting super punished for not fetching Underground Sea. Oh god, it's getting worse. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Oh, I should have dazed my lightning bolt. That was loose. Now I don't have a land. Okay, Comedy of Errors. If I draw a black source, I can still turn this game around pretty quickly, I think. They've got to be blue-red Delver. Black source. Fuck my life. Okay. That's probably going to be the end of this game. Now we're facing down Dreadhorde Arcanist. If they can play any cantrip before combat. I didn't force this Dreadhorde Arcanist because I still think that trying to get Griselbrand into play is my best chance of actually winning the game at this point. And I still think that's true. Like, I have Entomb and Reanimate with double force available. Like, this deck's not going to be able to beat a Griselbrand. Oh, they are Rug. Oh, this might be... Does Pokepile play Young Pyromancer? It's weird they have so many basics and Tropical Island. This is probably some sort of mid-range type Uro pile. Less than it is a Delver deck. Black Source for the win. Not black card. I will discard Thoughtseize. I'll give it one more draw step. They bottomed with their Preordain. Oh, they have a Ponder also. Nice. So I'm taking 5 in combat this turn. And it's all... Oh, I don't even have time, actually. The Lightning Bolt and everything. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. In my brain, for some reason, drawing a black source just made Griselbrand, but I have to spend a turn entombing it, then I have to reanimate it, which cost me 8 life. Yeah, I'm just dead. Maybe I should have forced Dreadhorde Arcanist. Surprise. Okay, so I like Flusterstorm. I don't like Force of Negation. Pyroblast is okay. I saw a lot of red threats out of them, which is not super exciting. Painful Truths is really good if we get into a grindy situation. Brazen Borrower is not great. I think I want less Force of Will on the play. I mean, honestly, I think the correct thing to do is just cut the Reanimator package and be in Abrade, like bring in all the Abrades and Red Blasts, but I'm not going to do that yet. I want to try to surprise them, get like one cheesy win off the Griselbrand at least. I think Brazen Borrower might be bad. Alright, let's try this version. I mean, Blazing Volley has some utility against the Young Pyromancer, but I'm hoping to go bigger than that. Like, that's the sort of thing where if you want those kind of cards in your deck, you don't get to play a Griselbrand package. No lands. Some lands. I'll keep this. I'm going to bottom a Wasteland. Right, so I discarded a Thoughtseize to hand size, so they do know I'm Grixis. I think I still lead on Volcanic Island here, though. Alright, we got another turn 1 Delver. Maybe this one can do something. Yeah, this hand is actually really good. Alright, so they are a Delver deck. I thought given their mana base, it's possible they're a little bigger than that. This basic island is nice, though, for them. I would love to be able to just waste. But I think they know that. So I can just play Young Pyromancer, or I could use these cantrips to try to pull ahead. I'm gonna cast Ponder. I'm playing around days here. Alright, a second Delver is pretty exciting. I'll fetch Underground Sea and play Delver. So now they're under pretty significant pressure on the board with Young Pyromancer as backup. Like I could Young Peasy plus Brainstorm next turn. Bummer. We both blind flipped our Delvers. We're good at this. Alright. Now they're ahead. They're still holding the Brainstorm. I like that they're on theme, that their username is Foils Top Deck Better, and they actually do have a foil deck. So, good job. I'm not going to use my Brainstorm in my upkeep to flip Delver. That's not the axis that this game's played on. Didn't even need to. So I can cast Young Pyromancer and hold up Brainstorm, or I can Wasteland them. I guess I can cast Young Pyromancer and hold up Force of Will. That sounds pretty good. Alright, and it's just in there. Cool. I'll get my Wasteland in then. So that let me play around days and still activate my Wasteland. And they know I have Force of Will in hand. I would not be excited to have to force losing this Brainstorm, but if it pulls me ahead, and the Force will at least make a token. I'm not sure if I force a Lightning Bolt here, or if Brainstorm is just better. Alright, I didn't have to decide. That's lucky. I don't think I would force Lightning Bolt there, but maybe it is right. Ooh, no attack. Love it. Time to draw a Lightning Bolt or Red Blast. Alright, who's the Young Pyromancer deck now? Maybe I should have put back that Force of Will. Zap. See, do they want to force that? They do not. Okay. Alright, now I'm cooking with gas. They'll need some kind of sweeper, I think, to pull it back ahead here. The Young Pyromancer's already generated 2 threats. Like Oko is too slow, Uro is a little slow here, but the life gain would be a big deal. Let's draw another Lightning Bolt. Easy money. You heard it here first. So if they have a Force, they're definitely going to point it at this Lightning Bolt, because they are basically dead if they don't. Alright, they're looking. And they're dead. 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Alright. Got away with something there. Surgical, Cling to Dust, Abrade. This one is kind of tricky because I do think the deck would be better in the matchup if we cut the Reanimator package, but it's game 3 and they haven't seen any indication that that's a thing. Like, the cheese factor here is very high. Daze is a lot worse on the draw. I think maybe some Abrades come in. Just more answers to Dreadhorde Arcanist. I think I like where this is. Having Painful Truths and the Reanimator package in the deck at the same time is kind of weird, because I'm like playing for a long game and trying to make the game short at the same time. Yeah, I'll try this. I do want to leave some number of dazes in so I could cheese the Entomb. This hand is fine. Got a question and some answers. Is it Delver or Cantrip? Alright, we love cantrips. Every time your Delver opponent cantrips on turn 1 instead of playing Delver, you should be pumping the fist. And now I get my Delver. Oh, I can even save my fetch land. That's nice. They didn't daze. I like it. I hope they just jam Young Pyromancer or Dreadhorde Arcanist into a daze here. Yeah, my hand is well set up to play against Wasteland. I have so many lands. Every Delver has blind flipped on its first opportunity in this matchup so far, and that's how you like to party. So I can remove their Delver with Pyroblast. I could cast Ponder to try to push this advantage. Like, they mulliganed their. I have lots of land drops. My Delver's flipped and theirs isn't. Or I could just hold up Daze and Flusterstorm to protect my Delver. I think I'm just going to attack, leaving up Flusterstorm, and then next turn I can Pyroblast their Delver with Flusterstorm backup. Like, I might even be able to set up an exchange where, like, they bolt my Delver, I Pyroblast their Delver in response, they try to counter my Pyroblast, then I Fluster their bolt and their counter, and I get a 2-for-1 off the Flusterstorm, which is just always the dream. So I'm going to try to set that up, see if we can get it. Let me go to my main phase. Don't bolt in my upkeep. Bummer. Alright, so they're probably going to bolt here. Keeping my Delver alive versus making sure theirs is gone. And getting stifled here would be an absolute kicking. I'm going to let them kill my Delver. They chose exactly the right time to do that. So I'm going to pass. And I'm going to try to set up another 2-for-1 with Flusterstorm. Like, if they cast a cantrip, like this Brainstorm, and then I zap Delver in response, I'm going to take 3 to try to get this value. Right, there's the Brainstorm. Destroyed Delver. They don't really have mana to fight over this. They would have to force, which would not go particularly well for them. So, alright, they can have this Brainstorm. But you can see how, if they had gone for a Force of Will there, they would have been absolutely destroyed. That's just what I was playing for the opportunity. Even if they didn't offer it, I still remove their Delver. Ooh, no shuffle. Okay. They're probably going to bottom off this Preordain, which is just working through the Brainstorm card, so that's not very good. Yeah, they bottom the Preordain. It's not where you want to be. Alright, so I'm going to Ponder. I have a fetch land, so I can mess with it, and I'm almost certainly going to wasteland them. This is a really good Painful Truths. Yeah, they're at 3 cards in hand to my 5, and we're otherwise pretty even in this game. Like, the boards look very similar. Now they're wasting me. Okay. Sure. You got me. I happen to know the top of my deck is several lands. I'll draw one of them, and then I'll shuffle the other one away. Because basically this game's in the same spot it was when I passed last turn. Okay. I'm not quite at the point where I want to aggressively Flusterstorm a Brainstorm. Like, I want to maneuver to a point where I can resolve this Painful Truths and draw 3 cards. Like, Painful Truths being black dodges all the red blasts. Which is a big deal in this matchup, of course. I will have to daze a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alright, just spinning their wheels over there. Using Ponder. Oh no, they did fetch, so these are fresh cards. They chose to shuffle. Nice. Alright, I'll fetch for red in the end step. Alright, that's nice. Let's see if they are in a place where they're ready to Red Blast a Brainstorm. Okay, so now I'm in a pretty interesting spot where I don't think I need this Pyroblast. Like, if they play exactly Oko, I'll feel pretty bad about it. I can waste them off green and then decide if I want Lightning Bolt. Or maybe I could, like, Dreadhorde Arcanist is one of the more powerful things they could do. Maybe this Flusterstorm should go into the deck. I also don't have to wasteland them, but I think I want to. Alright, I'm gonna put Flusterstorm, or is it Daze? I don't know. This is tough. This is really tough. I'm gonna put Daze and Lightning Bolt into the deck. Then I'm gonna waste their Tropical Island. And I don't have to shuffle. I do have Misty Rainforest. If they play Dreadhorde Arcanist, I can just draw the Lightning Bolt and clean it out. Alright, Delver, that also gets bolted. And Pyroblasted, I have a lot of answers to that. So I do want the Lightning Bolt. Don't think I'm going to want the Daze. Do I want to cast this Preordain now? No, I want to leave up all of my possible interaction. Like, I can bolt Pyroblast and Flusterstorm this turn, the way things are. Alright, you're drawing a Pyroblast, that's fine. And I am going to Pyroblast Delver, not Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt also hits Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is a real problem. Alright, so I do not want to draw this Daze, so I'm going to fetch. I would love to draw a land so I can back up Motobug. so I could back up my Painful Truths. That didn't happen though. All right, I'm going to preordain here. I don't want to run this into a daze. All right, that's a card. All right, so we'll find out right away if they have an answer or not. I would kind of prefer to use Painful Truths as bait to see if Dreadhorde Arcanist can resolve, but that's not the amount of mana that I have available. All right, that's another card. I'll take a 1-for-1 exchange when I have Painful Truths looming. So they can hardcast Force of Negation. They can't Pyroblast. They can Daze. They can Spell Pierce. It's not a land and it's not a creature. They are holding 3 spells. I'm just going to keep being disciplined about this, at least until I can Flusterstorm. All right, that's fine. I got a lot of answers to that. I hope they fight over this lightning bolt. Like, force my bolt, and then we can get out of here. Land? Shit. If I had drawn a land there, that would have been the cleanest possible. Painful Truths with the Flusterstorm backup. I'm just going to keep passing because I'm a coward. All right, so the land is what they drew for the turn. 2 mystery cards still in hand. Ooh, suddenly. Appearing for the first time is Entomb. So I can dump the Griselbrand, and suddenly that's happening. I really hope I don't get Oko'd here. Fuck. Well, there's Oko. Now it's time to draw Reanimate, I guess. But that's not even good because they have Oko. Uh-oh. They haven't seen this yet. They're currently peeing their pants. Griselbrand, into the bin you go. Not that you're particularly good in this situation. Alright, well. Maybe I should go to their turn. No, because I have Flusterstorm. That's one of the 3 draws in the deck that could answer Oko. I had 1 more Pyroblast and 2 Lightning Bolts. So I'm going to take this if I can get it. Alright, they just let all that happen, which is kind of surprising. So it might be time to jam this Painful Truths. Awkwardly, if I Painful Truths, I'm at 9, and then if I reanimate Griselbrand, I'm at 1. So this is not ideal. That's really not ideal. Now I can't even cast the Painful Truths. Fuck. Let's just draw Young Pyromancer. Obviously. Oh no, get out of here with this. We're just gonna get crushed out of this game with Wastelands. Is that all 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, they have played all 4 of their Wastelands. And there are only 6 lands in my deck that make mana. Yep, this is bad. Young Pyromancer. And me without a mana for a Braid. Okay. Well, I can go to 3. and put Griselbrand into play. I could also just get back Dreadhorde Arcanist. Am I a wuss? Or am I a hero? 3 is just the wrong number. If I would go to 4, I would jam it, but yeah, I'm gonna go for Arcanist. As Arcanist can cast these lightning bolts and stuff, I don't take 8 life to do it. I will definitely spend my Flusterstorm if they lightning bolt. If they untap and lightning bolt, I might have to daze and then Flusterstorm. So if I daze, Storm will be 2. They have to pay 1. And then I Flusterstorm and they can still pay. God, they have so much mana over there. Yeah, that land drop means that they can pay anyway. Let me see, do I think they have another fetchable land? Volcanic Island, Tropical Island. If I only use 2 wastelands, I thought I had more than that. 1, 2, nope. Yeah, they must have another mana source in there. Well, that sucks. See you later, Dreadhorde Arcanist. At least I have another one in my hand. Alright, land. Is that actually... Pretty sure there's only 6. Let me check. Yes, there's 3 of each, and 4 wastelands have been used, which means there's Underground Sea, Volcanic Island, Underground Sea, Volcanic Island. Yep, there's nothing left to fetch. This Painful Truths is the most painful truth there's ever been. I suppose there's a universe where I can daze one of these lands back up, brainstorm with Dreadhorde Arcanist, then fetch it. It's not great though. 1, 2, 3. They've used 3 lightning bolts. We lost the resource race. Those they had a number of tight wastelands. Mostly it was Oko. It was honestly just Oko that broke this game open. Like there was I was ahead for basically the whole game. Then they cast Oko. Then I had to double bolt it. It cost me a turn, cost me 2 lightning bolts. The lightning bolt could answer this young pyromancer. Like just that's why you don't see Grixis Delver right now, because Grixis colors do not cast Oko. Now I'm pretty far behind. I will be pretty surprised if we win this game. Alright, and yeah, I'm definitely dead now. Bummer. Fucking Oko. Yeah, their mana base threw me off. Maybe I should have just had all 4 red blasts in that were available. Like you see Tropical Island and you just bring in all 4 for Oko. Really believe I messed that up. But like I said during the match, trying to leave in the reanimation combo is a lot of slots for things that you would like normally. Into the next one. On the play, I'm going to keep this. There's no threat, but there's a ton of brainstorms. We can make plays here. I think it's better to play my Volcanic Island with this hand, because if I'm playing against a combo deck, or if I'm playing against any deck that I want to daze this turn, then okay. Then I'm gonna wish that I didn't waste my fetch on a daze turn. Oh, I'm playing against Oops All Spells. Okay. I hope they don't name Brainstorm. I hope they just name Force of Will like they're supposed to. Yeah, okay. That's a very good Cabal Therapy, though, in general. And this hand just got a lot better that their hand is such a joke. So, now this is actually a tough call. They couldn't go off last turn, and now I have double days available. All right, I'm going to play Dreadhorde Arcanist and hope I don't lose. So I'm going to have to win this game. I can't just not lose the game. If they have more Cabal Therapies, I can daze them. Yeah, tapping out here is a little bit bold, but I think it is the play that is most likely to win the game. Though my opponent does have to acknowledge my spell on the stack before that becomes a problem. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing math or what. I wonder if I'm supposed to daze that Chrome Mox. Though, that's pretty aggressive. If they are something like the Epic Storm or like Red Stompy, I don't think I want to daze the Chrome Mox, though now knowing that it's Oops All Spells, I'm kind of glad I did. They must have another payoff because they exiled a payoff to the Chrome Mox. So I expect their hand is some rituals and another payoff card. And checking for Force of Will means that they were pretty close to winning last turn. But you just name Force of Will with that card regardless. So I guess I didn't really get much information off of that. Now they have perfect information and they're going to figure out if they can beat 2 dazes. So that is of course going to happen. If they exile a Spirit Guide to pay for daze, then I'll daze the Cabal Therapy again, because I don't think I can afford having them name Brainstorm. Like, I just need to get through this turn, and then I can Brainstorm a bunch of times. Alright, now we're cooking. Yeah, these are the moments where you're just, like, really glad that you tapped out for the Dreadhorde Arcanist, took the risk. And I do get to see one more fresh card off this Brainstorm, so I'm not going to make my land drop yet, in case I find a fetch land. I didn't find a fetch land. That's okay. Put back those same cards again. I get to put a real clock into play next turn. I am pretty unlikely to lose the game this turn. I now have 4 counterspells I can cast against the opponent who played Cabal Therapy go last turn. Yeah, if they couldn't beat Daze last turn, then they're not going to beat this hand this turn. So I'm drawing a land. I get to Young Pyromancer, Brainstorm, trigger, attack, Brainstorm again, trigger again. And pass again with this handful of counterspells. If I daze, I can't make that play I just described. And maybe that's fine, though. Like, they don't know about either of these forces, and I want to keep it that way. Alright, they pitched for Elvish Spirit Guide. I'll let this resolve. Even if they name Force of Will, I still have Force of Negation. So this hand is pretty damn good. They could just name the Brainstorm to be safe. But if they name Brainstorm, then it's already in the graveyard for Dreadhorde Arcanist. Oh, this is a tough spot. They could name the days that they know about, unless they think I brainstormed the days away. All right, they took the brainstorm and conceded to the double force. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Torpor Orb comes in here. What else comes in? Flusterstorm, Surgical Extraction, Cling to Dust. Brazen Borrower being a flash threat is not irrelevant, but maybe it kind of is because the game's not going to go that long. This is definitely one where Griselbrand is just indefensible. Like, I know that the point of the deck is to splice Griselbrand into a Grixis shell, but this is not a matchup where you get to mess around like that. So they have Pact of Negations, usually. Thassa's Oracle is one of their win cons. They need Narcomoebas to win. So maybe some number of Pyroblasters are supposed to come in. And these four are for sure. This Brazen Borrower has options. Abrading a mana source if they can't all go off in one turn is pretty big, but yeah, I think I'd rather just do this. It's not great. I'm not super excited about the Red Blast coming in, but it's what I'm going to do. Well, I have Force of Will, so I'm going to keep this deck. My opponent's deck is pretty good at beating a Force of Will. Like, this deck would not exist at all if it just literally couldn't beat Force of Will. So this is not particularly safe, but I am going to snap it off. Like, it's possible they mulligan to a hand that either has to pass the turn or can't go off all at once or can't play around Force. But this is a keep for me. Opponent's on 6. Keep going. Show me a 4-card hand. I'll probably lose to a 4-card hand, though. Let's see, what 4-card hand do I lose to? It's, I guess they need, like, Chrome Mox to get the black mana going, because there is no Zombie Spirit Guide. So a 4-card hand would be pretty hard to win with. Oh, they played Crypt of the Undercrypt. Crypt of the Undercrypt. So this is going to get my Force of Will, because that is just what you name, unless they try to get clever and name Brainstorm. Nope, they did not try to get clever. Am I dead? I do have Wasteland, which could be a big deal. They might be counting on that Undercrypt. Yeah, Wasteland is better because I don't have a blue card other than Ponder, so even if I find a force off of Ponder, I'm not going to be able to force them. So cracking off the Wasteland and just hoping it buys me a turn, I think, is what I got to do here. All right, it was rewarded. So now I can ponder looking for, I guess, Surgical Extraction keeps me alive for a turn. Cling to Dust and Torpor Orb. That's very good. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. They passed with no play last turn, and I'm just going to have to hope they do it again. Like, this hand's going nowhere without an untap step. Uh-oh. That's bad. Please Cabal Therapy me again. Uh-oh. It's happening. Pass the turn, pass the turn, pass the turn, pass the turn, pass the turn. No such luck. Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, 1 mana short. Lost this game because we're on the draw. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. I want to get a look at this, though, see what their actual plan to win the game is. Normally, they dread return a Thassa's Oracle. I don't see a Thassa's Oracle. Am I just blind? What's going on here? Like, what am I missing? I feel like I should be conceding to hide information, but there's no cards in their deck. I don't see anything that gives their zombies haste. All right, I'm just gonna F6. Oh, okay, that's the combo. The Oracle was in their hand, so now they can Dread Return their Oracle. Okay. All right, Cabal Therapy targeting yourself does get the job done. All right, game 3. This time I get to set up a little more. Does anything change? I don't think so. Yeah, I think this is the best deck I can present for the matchup. I'll keep this. So I think I want to play land pass. All right, they're on 6. So, like, if they Cabal Therapy me, I can Brainstorm, hide my Force of Will on top. If they don't Cabal Therapy me, I'll just draw, play Delver, and still be holding up Force or Brainstorm Force to the top. Yeah, I'm not going to play the Delver right now. Not when I can play around a discard spell. Thoughtseize. All right. That's not bad. I will hide both of these forces. I could have left both forces in hand, actually. That might have been a better play. Because if they can Thoughtseize and then go off, I might have just fucked up versus holding the both forces and then they can't go off at all. Okay, looks like I'm unpunished this time. And I'm going to play both Delvers. Because now they've seen my hand, they know what they got to work it with. Just pedal to the metal. They have to assume that I hid Force of Will on top. And then I'm going to reveal the other one when I flip my Delvers. Cabal Therapy. All right, so they can name Force of Will, or I think naming Brazen Borrower is smarter though. Because if I had hid Force of Negation instead of Force of Will, by naming Brazen Borrower, they take the blue card that I pitch, and you get to clear the way either way. So, all right, now I'm going to break their spirit. I think that revealing the Force of Will and flipping Delvers is better than trying to play the like the other option was I just try to trick them by not revealing, and they're like, okay, he didn't draw a spell, I'm good to go, and then I just force. But they said LOL in the chat, which I assume means they're tilting off. They're also dead on board to my Brazen Borrower, because that's 9 damage. So we'll see what happens this turn. Can they beat a Force of Will? Another Force of Will. 2 discard spells versus 2 forces and a way to hide them. So on the bright side, though, the fact that I put the forces on top in response to Thoughtseize when I considered keeping both I have one now where I wouldn't otherwise. This Cabal Therapy would have gotten the second one, and the Thoughtseize would have got the first. So it actually ended up working out in my favor this time. I still haven't won the game. Like, they have 5 cards. That's a lot of cards. They could still beat me somehow. But it did turn out better this way. That I can at least muster some defense. I think they're trying to figure out if they can beat a force. Nope, they can't. All right. Not bad. Grixis Delver on the job. All right, we're on the draw in round 3. My opponent is a Yorion deck who has kept 7 cards. I think they're most likely to be Death and Taxes these days with Yorion, or they could be some sort of brew. Regardless, this hand does not function. This one actually has Entomb Reanimate, so I'm going to keep it. I even get to bottom the Griselbrand, that's lucky. So let's see how this goes. Alright, not Death and Taxes. So that's mixed news. Because I was kind of really counting on this Entomb Reanimate to work. They did not shuffle their Ponder. So I'm just going to play Polluted Delta. Maybe I'm supposed to Thoughtseize there. No, I kind of want to just go for it. Like, if they counter the Entomb, I'm not really down anything. If I draw a Black Source, I can Thoughtseize Reanimate. I don't think this is a Daze deck. Better bin the Griselbrand before I draw it. Come on, Force of Will. That's not bad either. I'm going to brainstorm looking for a Force or Daze or something. Alright, no love there. I'll put back Preordain and Brazen Borrower. I'll just fucking jam Reanimate. If they counter it, I have another one. And if they don't counter it, I have a Griselbrand. Alright, they had a Force. Okay, that's fine. So, if they Oko here, then Griselbrand's a lot worse. It's still a draw 7. Alright, so I want to Ponder into a Black Source here. Or a Force. Either one is fine. I wonder if they have the Cling to Dust in the main. Hull Breacher, fuck my whole life. Alright, they're a Hull Breacher deck. So, this, shuffle. And then Reanimate Griselbrand. That makes Griselbrand's draw 7 a whole lot worse, but here he is. Damn it. I don't even have a basic land. That sucks so bad. Maybe I should have gone for the Thoughtseize once the Hull Breacher hit. Right, that's a pretty good card. It can cast Reanimate, but I'm already dead, so that doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, this went poorly. I think I needed a Thoughtseize. Jeez, this hand. I'm very jealous of my opponent's deck. I'd much rather be doing what they're doing. This looks great. And like in this spot, I can't even like Brazen Borrower bounce this and then Ponder because I am already dead. Like I can't Brazen Borrower Thoughtseize it either because it has Flash. Like, yeah, I'm dead here. Yuck. That went poorly. I did get a Griselbrand into play though, so count it. Alright, Pyroblast coming in. Do I want Painful Truths against the confirmed Hull Breacher deck? I don't want Griselbrand against the confirmed Hull Breacher deck. I think the frequency with which I want to board this combo out tells a lot about how good it actually is. So I'll bring in Cling to Dust in case they have Uros. They've got to have Okos, I would imagine. Do I want a Braid? Probably want less Force of Negation, more Flusterstorm, more a Braid. I'm running out of stuff to bring in. I guess I want the Painful Truths. I just have to be careful about Hull Breacher. All right, let's do it. On the play. My opponent, the cards they cast that game were, they revealed Yorion, then they had Hull Breacher, Astrolabe, Assassin's Trophy, Fatal Push. God, their deck's so cool. I'm gonna keep this. I'm now just a Delver deck, and this is just a Delver hand. So sign me up. And boom, there it is. Pressure's on. With these 2 bolts, they're on a 5-turn clock. Maybe they won't have or do anything. All right, Ponder is not Fatal Push. I'm going to get to draw, I'm going to get to Ponder. This is going to be a good time. Yes, show them the days. Earn their respect. Hell yes. Do I want the second Delver or the first Pyroblast? I want the Delver. I want the Pyroblast too, but getting this Delver into play is too important. And having this Daze is a little bit of consolation. Like, they're not going to be able to Assassin's Trophy here. Ooh. Get after it. You hang that out like that, I'm going to punish it. Yep. Alright, this looks like it's just going to be a proper Delver game. I got double Lightning Bolt, Flusterstorm back up. They're actually dead on board. They're going to need an Abrupt Decay to survive this. I responded to Assassin's Trophy with Lightning Bolt in case they tried to counter the Bolt, so Flusterstorm could protect both. Alright, that was fun. Let's do that again. Does anything change? I mean, a Braid feels kind of medium. Like, we've seen Hull Breacher, but Force of Negation against the potential Oko is probably better. I could play some number of Reanimate. Oh, why did I cut my Thoughtseize? I did not mean to do that. That card should definitely be in the deck, and one of the Dazes can go. Yeah, I think I just took out all of the black 1-drops, forgetting that Thoughtseize was among them. Alright, yeah, Thoughtseize should be in the deck. And it's back now. Alright, this hand's great. Just get to Delver again, curve it into Young P, into Painful Truths. Ooh, Force of Will. Oh, I wish I had a Daze. What a world that would be. But it's an aggressive Force of Will, all the same. Like if I'm playing any deck that has Basic Island and Arkham's Astrolabe in it, and I Force of Will a turn 1 Delver, that's a huge sign of weakness. So Dreadhorde Arcanist is the better card here. Young Pyromancer plays around Hull Breacher a little better. But I guess next turn if I go Young Pyromancer, Hull Breacher, or Young Pyromancer, Preordain. Like if I Preordain and they Hull Breach, they'll end up with a treasure and I can't even really effectively attack. Yeah, I'm not going to attack at all, actually. I'm going to play Young Pyromancer and then I'm going to play Delver. See if they show me any respect here. Alright, now I just have to hope I don't get Wrathed. And I'm not going to attack either because Hull Breacher can just eat Arcanist in combat. Alright, no play. God, I wish I had a Daze. That would have made that turn so easy. Alright, what do we got? Tapping out for Toxic Deluge. Fuck. Played around the Hull Breacher so hard and got deluged. Alright, let's see if they can hang with a Painful Truths. Blue, red, black. The full Grixening. Alright, and we're in a lot of trouble to go back to basics here. I just have to hope they don't have one. I guess I could have topped that because I can Young Pyromancer and hold up Hardcast Force of Negation next turn. That might have been better. Snapcaster Mage, casting Ponder. That's fine. I'm going to save my counter spells to protect Young Pyromancer. Definitely not about to Force of Will a Ponder. So we get to Young Pyromancer, Bajuka Bog. Do I care about that? I don't think so. Yeah, I boarded out the Griselbrand. I don't play Gurmag Angler or Snapcaster Mage or anything like that. Wasteland's interesting. I'm going to crack off this Wasteland. They probably don't want that to happen very much. I'm just going to bolt that while the getting's good. Like before they untap and can cast some Flusterstorm or whatever. I will go for the Force. If they fight over this, I still end up with a token. Painful Truths off the top. Painful Truths? That's a pretty good card too, though. They have a Coatl. Okay, that's fine. Young Pyromancer created some bodies, and then Dreadhorde Arcanist can arrive to continue the pressure. Oh no, they're a Punishing Fire deck too. Oh, Scavenging Ooze was a good draw. God, that sucks. Now I need Lightning Bolt off the top. That doesn't even kill it. I think I'm just dead to the Scavenging Ooze. If I attack, they eat the Lightning Bolt, and then they just completely obliterate me in combat. Wow, fuck. Grixis Delver feels so anemic in Present Legacy. It just does not feel good at all. Like getting bricked by Scavenging Ooze, like at least a normal deck, like a green deck, I could have Oko or Uro to power over that, but I'm just going to lose to this 4/4 like it's 2010. And they are committed to the race at this point. I think they have Hull Breacher in hand. They can eat Lightning Bolt in response. Snapcaster Mage works too. Alright, but now I can daze the Hull Breacher at least. Oh, I guess they can't eat the bolt and cast Hull Breacher. Yeah, I'm just gonna die to this 5/5. Do I even have an answer? I don't play a Fatal Push. This Brazen Borrower can buy some time. So one of those left. Yeah, I would always rather be the deck full of basic lands and Astrolabes than the Delver deck in these sort of matchups. I guess I have to commit to a continue of beatdown. At least for now. Now it's time for Hull Breacher when I can't daze. Is that how this is gonna go? I'll concede to a Hull Breacher for sure. It might be better to just cast it in the end step. Like just give up the value on eating a creature in combat because it doesn't matter. Just present your attackers. Yuck. Alright, yeah, I'm dead. Yep, absolutely destroyed by this Yorion deck. On to the next round. Well, I'm on the play here with this stinker. So maybe this isn't so bad. I don't even have a blue card with Force. Griselbrand, like, Brainstorm can put Griselbrand back in the deck, and the idea of like jamming a turn 2 Arcanist that I can just reanimate if they answer it would be nice, but not having a cantrip to either fix this hand or get value off Arcanist if it does stick is kind of a double whammy for me, and I am going to mulligan. Wop, wop. So I'm playing 18 lands, and a lot of the Delver decks are on 19 these days, so maybe I'm feeling that right now. Oh, that's a keep. And I'm going to send Young Pyromancer, and it's between Force, Dreadhorde Arcanist, and Lightning Bolt. I think I want Force just because of the uniqueness in this hand. Yeah, I think sending Arcanist to the bottom is right, though it feels bad. My opponent kept 7. That's not good for me. Alright, Delver, go get him. Let's see what I'm up against. Oh no, a Marsh Flats. Is this Dead Gael? I can never beat that deck. I mean, that would have been the point where I want a Force of Negation, but didn't happen. A land is good, a spell is good, a creature is bad. Alright, Brainstorm, I'll take that. Crack it off. Oh my god, my life is pain. Alright, this is going to have to be just a pure blazing Delver kill. If they have a Wasteland, I'm done. Rishadan Port I can actually play through. But this is going to be scrappy if I win, and it's going to be an absolute blowout if I don't. Alright, yeah, Port's fine because I can bolt with my mana and keep the pressure on. Alright, upstairs. I'm drawing another one. If they Vial in Thalia next turn, I'm probably dead. Like, I can't even cast my bolt. But I will continue attacking with Delver, all the same. I'm wondering what's going on over there, because Death and Taxes doesn't play fetch lands, generally. But everything they've done otherwise is Death and Taxes stuff. So, like, what is this? This is Thalia, and I'm going to lose to it. Yup. Now I can't daze, can't do anything. Yep, absolutely destroyed there. So how can I win this game? I'm drawing Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm under Thalia with Rishadenport going and Brainstorm locked. I am dead here. The Mulda 5 there was no good. Yeah, I was never casting another spell that game. Alright, so what is helpful? I like Brazen Borrower and Hateful Truths, Abrade, Blazing Volley. Torpor Orb has some text, like it can stop Stoneforge Mystic and Recruiter of the Guard and Flicker Wisp. I guess that's worth doing. Force of Negation's not so good. I think I do want the Griselbrand available here. I mean, their deck plays Caracas, but if I can draw 7, that's good, and they don't have counter spells. So I do want to leave that in. Lightning Bolt's good, of course. Maybe I'll go like way thinner on my... Alright, if I'm planning to a Griselbrand game, there's not going to be time for Torpor Orb. Alright, I'm going to do it like this. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in my Caracas just as a land and an answer to Thalia. I'll consider that for game 3. Alright, this hand isn't bad. I'm looking for Entomb, just frantically looking for Entomb with this Preordain. If I can get an early Griselbrand with this Force of Will back up, that should be able to get over the finish line. Show me Entomb. I don't want that. I kinda want that, but I'm gonna bottom it. I have a plan. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, that's fine. I have a lot of lands. That's actually one of the best things that could have happened for me. Like if they just started developing instead, that sucks. I can also kill their creatures with these bolts and blazing volleys and reanimate them. That's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Alright, we're suddenly playing a Delver game now. Fucking Caracas. Opening land drop, Caracas. GG. So I could fetch red with both of these, as red is my more important color in this spot, but I think I want to keep access to this reanimate. Okay. I'm willing to play in this world. Can't beat that card anyway. Alright, we're a reanimator deck again. Just hope they don't have another wasteland. Uh-oh. Scrappy magic. I kind of love this. This does feel like it's 2010. I'm going to pass, draw the brainstorm that was under this brainstorm, and then I can fetch brainstorm and hopefully hit my land drop next turn. Only one underground sea left in the deck. Gotta be careful about that. Alright, please find a land. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. Not only did I not find a land, but I found Griselbrand with no way to shuffle it away. And they have another Caracas. This is pain. This sucks. I'm just gonna pass here. Like this brainstorm will just see 2 of the same 3 cards again. Next turn I'll draw the Griselbrand, and I'm gonna keep trying to hold this brainstorm at least one more turn. I don't want to like lightning bolt their face either, because I'm gonna have to work through some creatures eventually. I just hope they don't draw a 3rd wasteland right now. Alright, so there are black cards in this deck. That fetch land was not just for style. Thalia is my nightmare. So now I have to draw a land just to bolt Thalia in my upkeep. Land, please. Alright, we're in the game. If I have to go to discard... are you fucking kidding me? Well, if I have to go to discard, I can discard Griselbrand at least. But they top deck the third Wasteland in their top 15 cards. Mathematically, they should have one in their top 15 cards in their deck with no way to search their deck or control their draws in any way. Okay, this is bad. I have another chance to draw a land here, and then I'm just dead. They got Batterskull. They still have Rishadenport going. I found a land. So I'm not allowed to concede just yet. So if they want to put in Batterskull and port me, it means they can't save Thalia with Caracas. Let's see what they do here. So I'll get the Underground Sea. That's my last one, by the way. If I bolt Thalia, they can't Batterskull. Okay, yeah, they're just Batterskulling in response. And letting Thalia die. Well, probably, I'm about to take 5, which means I'm at 7 and I can't reanimate Griselbrand, even if I find one. So this game, brought to you courtesy of Wasteland. So I'm gonna, let's see what color they go after. Red, so I can bolt Stoneforge Mystic. I think Brainstorm is a better use of my mana, though. Yeah, if I could put this Griselbrand back in my deck, that would be great. Also looks like Blazing Volley's not going to help me this game, but I'm only shuffling away one of these, so... draw this. I can fetch and go to 1 and play both Delvers. Alright, let's go. So if I draw a Braid on my turn, maybe there's a game to play here. I have to get rid of this Batterskull. I'm not going to block if they attack. I'm not going to double block Stoneforge Mystic either. Oh, I'm just dead. Wow, that was a stern beating. Oh, Grixis. Poor, sweet Grixis. Just can't keep up. Alright, on to the last round, I guess. Well, we're on the draw. We have Entomb, but Griselbrand's also in this hand. So, great. Ship that. This is a better hand. I'm going to send one of the Ponders. I like the pressure, I like the days, and cantrips, of course, are always welcome. It's kind of crazy how bad this deck feels, and I don't mean like the Griselbrand package, which is not really helping the quality of the deck, but just Grixis in general does not feel very good. Just it's crazy that this was a tier 1 deck, like the tier 1 deck at one point. Obviously, Deathrite Shaman is a card that was banned. It changes the math a little, but the just the fact that this deck feels so shitty. Like when you're used to casting Oko and Uro, and choosing not to do that, it seems like a huge mistake. Like even the Delver games that I've been playing, like where we don't even see or we board out the reanimate combo and we're just playing Grixis Delver, they do not feel good. There's basically no way to catch up. There's no way to gain life. It's weird not having any incidental life gain in a legacy deck right now. Just all of these things that we used to take for granted, or we've learned to take for granted. I don't know. You feel it here. All right. I found replaced the days that they didn't like the first one. They thought seized it. So I'm gonna ponder and stack the top of my deck for this Delver. All right, so they preordained bottom, missed their land drop. And I have days now. I'm fairly confident I'm playing against Doomsday. There's like an outside chance it could be Death Shadow, but I'm pretty sure it's Doomsday based on what we've seen and the play patterns and what they valued with their Thoughtseize. All right, bang, flip you. I'm gonna attack. The top of my deck is another Daze. I'm actually just gonna pass the turn here because having Daze plus Force of Will against the opponent with no mana is pretty nice. I'm just going to beat on them here. Like, they could daze me back, or they could just lose. And they've chosen to lose. All right. That felt like a good Delver game. Just, they didn't cast any spells and they died. All right, fairly confident this is Doomsday. I'm going to try to leave the Reanimator package in. I don't hate it. I want to try to get at least one Griselbrand win before I pack this league up for good. I'm just going to bring in these interactive spells and try to get my Grizzle on. I guess I don't need all these lightning bolts. Young Pyromancer and Daze in over 2 of the bolts. I like having some of the bolts because Doomsday does spend half their life total to resolve their nominal spell. This is a good hand. It's 1 land, but 1 land is plenty. I'm gonna Delver before I Thoughtseize. Like, it would be pretty easy to Thoughtseize them. I don't know, maybe I should Thoughtseize first now that I'm thinking about it. So, Thoughtseizing them would let me operate my cantrips in a way, or my I don't have any cantrips. My counter spells I would know what I need to target. Oh, Lion's Eye Diamond that's not normally in Doomsday, is it? Are we playing in Storm? I guess, yeah. I guess this could just be ad nauseum. All the cards we saw are also in that deck. Infernal Tutor. They going for the pitch. Yeah, I'll just force this. Pitching the Daze. All right, now you're hellbent. And all right, we won a match. We got a turn 1 win with Grixis Reanimator Delver. Okay, so in conclusion, the Reanimator shell didn't do much. Like, it just didn't line up well against what we did. We did put Griselbrand into play 1 time, and it died immediately compared to the 2 or 3 mulligans we had to take because Griselbrand was in the opening hand, which is a pretty big cost. You could play something like Faithless Looting to mitigate the Griselbrand draws, but Faithless Looting is card disadvantage. You draw 2, discard 2, but Faithless Looting itself is a card, so you spend 3 cards to get 2 cards, and that's completely incompatible with the rest of this plan. So I don't love the Griselbrand. I've seen some builds of this deck that play a 1 of Ox of Agonis just as like a different creature to entomb if Griselbrand's off the table. Just something to get some value out of. I think this deck would just be better as a bug deck. Just play Oko, play Uro. You can entomb your Griselbrand there. Also, reanimating Uro is kind of funny. It's just like cycle, play a land. So I think the fundamental problem, even more so than diluting it with the Reanimator package, is that Grixis Delver just isn't that good right now. The blue-red Delver decks, they kill fast, they're hyper consistent. The Rug Delver deck gets Oko and Uro, and then you have this deck that has the wonky 3-color mana base, and for what? Thoughtseize? That's what we get out of it? Like, if I wasn't playing the Reanimator package, there'd be like a Gurmag Angler, a Fatal Push probably, but really, the black doesn't do much in present day Legacy. Discard is the worst it's ever been because top decks are so good. Not even talking about Veil of Summer. So I would rather be blue-red Delver than Grixis, and then if you're going to be Grixis, don't dilute it with a Reanimator combo. So sorry this deck didn't get to go off the way you hope it would, but I think we saw where the structural flaws are in a deck like this, and cards are just so good in Legacy that trying to assemble a contraption when you could just top deck and slam haymakers onto the stack is probably a losing idea. Like, commit to being Reanimator or commit to being Delver and commit to beating Oko. Like, that's my advice if you're thinking about doing something like this. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.